Hi everybody and welcome to 32Soft's March webinar. I'm Denise and with me today as presenters we have Nancy McCrimmon, our operational Wonder Woman, and Christian Manga, our integration superstar. We also have a special guest with us today, Don Lindsay, who is an industry ERP and QAD wizard. First though, some real quick housekeeping. Please know that by default, everyone joins the webinar already muted. Each of you should, though, see a control panel similar to what I'm displaying. And there's a section at the bottom where questions can be typed. You can type your questions in at any time, and then during the Q&A, I will read them aloud in the order they're received. Also, as soon as the replay from today is available, that's typically within the week, we will follow up with our encore email, which will include a link to the replay as well as questions and answers. And that is it for housekeeping. So Nancy, if you are ready.
Yes, I am ready, Denise. Thank you.
Here you go.
Okay. Hi, and welcome to our webinar on the Install Base Data Loader. Today we're going to introduce you to the newest addition to the 32Soft collection of data loaders. The Install Base Data Loader interfaces with the Service and Support module in QAD. And for those of you not familiar with SSM or in the process of evaluating Service and Support module, this module allows you to manage trackable inventory after sales at customer sites in order to provide warranty, schedule maintenance of equipment, contract support, etc. It also allows you to quickly identify where equipment may be in case of regulatory requirements. The install base is one of the key elements of this module and is the basis for most activity in service and support. Each install base record has a unique identifier of item number, serial number, and user combination. Creating and maintaining accuracy of ISB record is critical for all other functions in SSM. Unfortunately, this is a manual process involving one record at a time and labor-intensive. 32Soft has developed a loader with the collaboration of one of our customers to quickly create and maintain install base records. This data loader allows you to create in minutes large number of records or download and maintain multiple records at a time. You can quickly identify all items at a particular site or find a particular model at all sites using the data loader as a report generator. This data loader also allows you to quickly move install base items from one end user to another. Denise will now introduce Christian, who's going to take you through a quick demonstration of the ISB data loader and show you how fast and easy it is to maintain accuracy of your data in QAD. So Denise?
Thank you, Nancy. Great as always. Before I do hand off to Christian, real quick, I just wanted to mention, as a reminder, today's demonstration is intended to highlight basic functionality. We are always happy to provide demos for individual organizations. We know that challenges and configurations can vary significantly. So with that said, Christian, if you are ready,
yes,
I will hand off to you.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Hi everybody. I already started ISB data loader, and this has the same look and feel that all our data loaders have. And the first thing that we need to do is to run the setup and select the database that we need to connect to. I will highlight it and click select, and then the loader will show that the database was selected. Then let's enter an end user that we need to review the items for. And then we'll click the download button. The first time we run a QAD action to download, for example, we will be prompted to specify the user ID and the password and the domain to connect to in this case. And we need to have a valid QAD user ID and password and also be able to perform functions in 11.3.1 screen. As we can see, we downloaded all the information that we have for this end user, and we can quickly modify, for example, the warranty code for a few items and the warranty expiration. And let's make it end of the year. And then once we reviewed our data, we don't need to change anything else. We'll just change the warranty code and the warranty expiration date. We'll click Update. And the loader process the changes really quick. You can see that. Just to make sure that the data was loaded, we can click Download again. And we will see that the information was loaded and everything was saved in QED. Another feature of this tool is to add new items to the end user, and for example, I can add a few more of these items, different serials that we deploy for this user, and let me just copy paste, and I will set this to L11, and then I will click the Add button. As we can see, we have a few errors, and as usual, we can use the Find Error button to go from error to error, and if we move the mouse, if we hover the mouse over the red cell, we can see that in this case the ISB record already exists, so we actually need to delete these items from the Excel before we try to add the new ones. And on this one we have also an error because I should have specified L19, and then we click Add, and it was loaded successfully. And just to review that, we can click Download again, make sure that everything was loaded successfully. Another feature of this loader is that we can review the product structures. If you use the product structures, this would be the 1135 screen, and again we will need to enter the end user, for example, and click Download, and we'll see the product structure. We can further filter just by parent item, and we can see this is the parent item and these are all the components. I can in this screen we cannot change much, just the revision level, but I can add the new components that I just added in the 1131 screen. So I can put L11 in here, and I'll click Add. I should be getting an error because these are already there, so I have to remove them before trying to add the new components. And let's download again just to make sure that everything was loaded. So yes, everything was loaded, and this is the new structure. Not shown in our demonstration is the capability of moving and altering the structures. This really depends on the structure, how many levels you need, so it's a little more complex. Yeah, this is just a short demonstration to show you the options that we have and the fact that we can load now data in the 1131 and 1135 screens. As mentioned again, we can do perform moves between end users as well, and also alter the structures. I think this concludes my demonstration, and I'd like to pass the control back to Denise.
That was great. Thanks, Christian. And as mentioned at the beginning, we do have a special guest with us today, Industry ERP QAD Wizard Don Lindsay. Don, if you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to hear from you. You there?
I'm muted. All righty. Well, thank you. Alex, Kim had asked me to just say a few words about the service and support module and these loaders that Nancy and Christian and Alex have made. We collaborated with 32Soft to get these in place. Just a word about our company. We are down in San Diego, and we make a series of DNA test kits. So fairly complicated product structures, and we buy DNA and construct consumables. We have an instrument that we sell and rent to our clients, which are labs and hospitals and doctors, that consists of a computerized base, 1 to 4 what we call towers, and then in each one of those towers you can have upwards of 6 bays, which take the consumable and give a reading on what the patient's DNA profile is. We've been using service and support now for about 10 years. Just a word about some of our volumes. We have about, probably 10,000 install-based records. We've got almost 15,000 install-based configuration items. We've got about 100, 200 end users. We use calls. We use return to suppliers. We use contracts, RMAs. And so we pretty well utilize the entire install base or the service and support module functionality. The install base is critical. It's central to everything that you do in service and support, and so it's increasingly important that you have good controls over it. The install base and the install base configuration is analogous to the item master and the bill of material in the operations side of QAD. And so what the loader does for us is it gives us much more control over how we update that. If any of you use service and support, you know that the screens and the menus can be somewhat complex. I think the RMA screen has over 20 frames in it. So you have to go in there manually for each and every record, as you can imagine with 10,000 install-based records that we've got. It's very laborious on the ladies in customer service and the guys down in the warehouse. And so we approached 32Soft. They've done a number of other loaders for us, and we used their cycle count loaders and their bombs, and they developed an EMT process for us. So we've been very happy with 32Soft's development process. So we asked them to look at giving us a loader that would help us to update the install base and the install base configuration. And as Christian says, we have a lot of movement because we'll take bays from San Francisco and move them to Seattle or send them over to Detroit. So there's a lot of movement within the install base for us. So these loaders are ideal. They cut down almost to a simple level for the update of the install base and the install base configuration. As I say, it literally, we could do hundreds of transactions in 15 minutes, whereas before the people who were updating the install base would take days to keep all of the records straight. So we've been very, very happy with the install base loader and the install base configuration loader and the ability to use it for moves, and the increase in accuracy and the amount of information that is available to our supply chain and our customer and our marketing people is greatly enhanced with the 32Soft loader. So we've been very happy, and Denise, you can go ahead and take it back. If you've got any other questions, I'll be around for the question and answer session. And thank you. We're very happy with the process.
Thanks so much, Don. We really appreciate that. And that was going to be my question. Are you around for questions and answers? So if anybody has any for Don, you can go ahead and enter those as well. For anyone who may have missed in the beginning, we you should have a control panel that looks like what I'm displaying, and you can go ahead and type your questions in there, and we're going to move on to the Q&A. And I will read the questions as they come in the order they were received. So give me 1 second to shift gears here and see what we have. And we do have a question. How many install base records can be uploaded at a time? Can we upload 5,000 records at once? And everybody's muted, so whoever wants to answer, is that Christian?
I can answer that. Yes, as all the other loaders that we have, you can process thousands of records at once, as long as your database is set up properly to accept that many records to being logged at once, because again, as all the other loaders, we perform one big transaction and the load is all or nothing. So yes, we can perform that many, but it also depends on your database settings, specifically the log table sizing.
Denise, just as an example, we probably upload 50 to 100 records at a setting. So, and you don't have to, as you would with the manual input through 11.3.1 install base maintenance, you can use different end users, part numbers, serial numbers, all in the same loader, and it takes the data as opposed to having to do it part by part. So yeah, 5,000 is no problem.
Okay, great. Thank you both very much. We do have one other question. Can we have a free trial?
I'll take this one, Denise. Yes, any of our loaders that we develop, we are more than happy to provide free trials. Send us an email. There is a link on our website to request a free trial, and we'd be happy to provide that. We're also happy at the same time to provide walkthroughs. We can do a demo specifically for your business. So yeah, free trials are absolutely available.
Great. Yep, just let us know. I'm looking. I do not have any additional questions at the moment, so what we can do is I can just go ahead and move forward for now and then circle back. So if anybody thinks of anything they want to ask, go ahead and type it in. As I mentioned earlier, you can type them in at any time. Any questions we receive up until we post the replay will be included on the website as well.
Denise, actually, I just want to add something.
Sure.
While we're waiting for questions. The other way that you can use the install base loader is if you manage loaner equipment or consigned equipment. One of the benefits of having that in your install base instead of moving it around in inventory is that if you have equipment that requires scheduled maintenance, PMs and things like that, or if you want to manage warranty on it, you can use the data loader. There is a location field for reference, and so you would set the end user up as your own company and then use your reference for whichever site it's at. And so that's a good way to manage any loaner units that you may have, and at the same time making sure that those units are always up to date with maintenance and warranty.
Good, good.
Nancy, can I just elaborate on your statement? We both sell and rent our instruments to our customers, and so we retain a large portion of our instruments on our books to depreciate because we're renting them. And we have the QAD fixed asset module, and so we have an integration between the fixed asset module and the install base records so that the financial people can tell exactly where the units are, because there's taxing issues in each one of the states and all that lovely state tax. So we have an integration between the fixed asset module and the install base to keep track of where those units are. So it's extremely effective for us.
Great. Thank you, Don. And thanks, Nancy. Among you guys and Christian, you must have explained things awfully clearly because we still don't have any additional questions. So I will go ahead and move on. If anybody thinks of anything, Christian, Nancy, Don, just stop me. But we'll go ahead for now. The Spring Midwest User Group Conference is just days away, and it runs from the 19th to the 21st. 32Soft will co-present 2 case studies, both on Monday. The first one, as you see, is scheduled for 11:30 in the morning on the 20th, and the second will be at 4 o'clock that afternoon. So if anyone is attending the conference, Alex and the team would love to see you, so be sure and stop on by. And upcoming webinars next month. Join us if you can to learn an easy way to stay on top of customer billing, and that includes easily identifying price discrepancies, matching payment details, and how you can automatically record payments. And then in May we have how to speed up your requisition cycle, followed in June by Attain Purchasing Perfection with supplier schedules. Amidst our spring webinars, we are again proud to be sponsors of QAD Explore, so yes, we will be there as well. And this year's convention will be held May 8th through 11th in Detroit. That is our bustling spring schedule. Registration is open for each of these events, and you will always find direct links to our events at the bottom of all of our webinar communications. I'm going to check real quick for questions. Nothing additional as yet. So we'll go ahead and share our final thought. And today it's a contemporary take on Aristotle's quote. Once the business data have been centralized and integrated, the value of the database is greater than the sum of the pre-existing parts. And taking a look, no additional questions, we're good, but Nancy, Christian, Don, do we have anything else we might want to add before we wrap up for today?
No, I just want to mention that, you know, if you do have questions afterwards, then by all means just send us an email. We're happy to go into greater detail. And most of our loaders can be modified to suit your needs. So that's also available.
Absolutely. And yeah, do keep the questions coming. If you think of something afterwards, just give us a call or shoot us an email, and we're happy to answer it and include it when we do post the replay. But it looks like that is everything for today, right on time. We are delighted that you were all able to join us. And Don, thank you very much for your contributions today. And thank you all so much for your time. Have a fantastic day, everyone.
Thanks,
Great.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.